Be loud. Good morning, everybody. Can everybody hear me okay? Can't hear you. Captain Baker, can't hear you. All right. Welcome to our 2024 Hemet Fire Department Open House. We're very happy to have you all here. It is now 10 minutes to 11, and we are going to begin our automobile extrication demonstration. So we have a lovely Honda Civic, probably about a 1997 or 98. And we are simulating that this vehicle has been in an automobile accident. We have a crew of firefighters who have arrived on scene, and their job is to extricate the patient in the car, which means to remove the car from the patient, not the patient from the car. So we're going to be pulling the pieces of the car away from the patient. Our patient for this simulation is going to be Captain Kurt Havlick, who is perfect for this simulation because he's rough on the exterior and soft on the interior. All right, so as we get started, we can see our firefighters are using a tarp, and that tarp is being used to protect our patient from any materials that will break inside the car, glass or pieces of plastic or things of that nature. As you guys can see, if you look on the left lower side of the car, we have black plastic looking things with some green handles. Those are called chock blocks. They're wedges, they're more modern ones. And we use those to stabilize the vehicle so it doesn't, from all the jostling and moving that we do for the car. All right, so Captain Baker is going to be our supervisor on scene of this incident. Normally these things happen in the roadway, so we would need some help from the police department to set up traffic control for us, and we also use our fire apparatus, our engines, to safely block traffic. Then everybody knows once you see flashing lights, everybody likes to slow down and look, diverting your attention away from what you should be doing, which is driving. All right, our firefighters are starting to make quick work of this. They've broken the windows. We have one firefighter on the rear window, our rear glass, breaking it out, and then we have another firefighter on the front. The firefighter on the front window is using a tool called the Glass Master. The Glass Master has a handle and a saw, and as you can see, a small hammer. The purpose of that is to cut through the laminated glass on the windshield, which he is doing with the saw. The glass on the sides and the back is called tempered glass, and it breaks into the little squares that everybody's familiar with. As you can see, our firefighters are making quick work. We've opened all the windows up except for the front windshield, which should be away shortly. The laminated glass has a piece of glue between two pieces of glass which hold it together, which is why you need to saw it. Our firefighters made what's called a purchase point between the front door and the back door, which is basically a fancy term for an opening. And with that opening, they're inserting the jaws of life. Our new jaws are now battery powered. It's all new equipment, and it works a little quicker because you can deploy it without having to fire up a power unit, a hydraulic power unit. So our firefighter has made a nice purchase point with the jaws, and now our other firefighter is most likely cutting the nadir pin with the cutters. Next, what they will do is they will work on the hinges on the interior side of the door. One firefighter secures the door, the other one works on the hinge, while the firefighter on the front of the car is doing a pinch on the front left fender. The pinch helps to pull the fender away from the door and expose a little more visibility on the hinges. As our firefighters work through this, they're constantly checking on the patient and making sure that they are in a safe position. One common thing that we try to practice, and is a safety for our behalf on these incidents, is not putting ourselves between the tool and the vehicle. So right now you can see our firefighter is working with the tool on the right side of his body so that he's not between the vehicle and the car. Again, like I told you, we have a second firefighter stabilizing that door and holding it into position so that it doesn't fall or injure anybody else in the car. The door has now been successfully removed from the car, and our firefighters will work on the next portion of the operation. So, we see our firefighter pinching that front arm of the car. Does anybody know what that piece is called in the car?
Audrey knows.
A piece of metal that's on either side of the windshield. Anybody know? Raise your hand.
Say it. Say it, Audrey. You know.
Who said it?
We talked about this today.
Someone out here. A column. A column. Very good. So that first portion, those first columns are the A columns, or the A post. So when we talked in terms of cutting vehicles apart, removing dashes, taking the top off, we talk in some very simple but technical terms. That is the A post. The portion where Captain Baker has his right arm resting is called the B post, or Bravo. Can anybody guess what the last one on the backside is called?
Audrey knows.
Anybody? Anybody? Any of you kids mastered your ABCs? C post. Good job. You look awesome, just like your shirt says. Great job. Green eyes, green shirt. All right. Very nice. Well, they look green from here. My opinion's the one that matters at this point. I'm just kidding. All right, so our firefighter has cut the A post at the top, as you can see, and now he's making what's called a relief cut on the bottom of the floorboard. The relief cut is put in position so that we can do what's called a dash push. So in order to get this vehicle away from the victim, the driver, we're going to make a series of relief cuts in the vehicle's firewall, which is the front portion, so that we're going to put what's called a ram in there. And a ram is an arm that extends. It'll be wedged on the lower part of the rocker panel up to the A post almost, and then it will push the dash of the vehicle up and away from the patient so we can safely remove that patient from the vehicle. All right, well, we're waiting for these guys. Does anybody have any questions? Any kids in the front row? Oh, okay. Mr. Green Eyes, what's your question? Do you have one specific question? What is it? All right. Long-time listener, first-time caller. Do you have a question? No. All right. Anybody else have any questions? She's shy. I got that. All right. Questions from the group. Okay, you got a question. With your awesome face paint. What's your name? Are they going to light it up? Yes, after this. It'll be a great show. All right. Question.
What do you do with a dog or a cat? Do you rescue them?
Yes, we rescue dogs and cats too. Of course we do. Yeah, we love animals. All right. Any other questions? Yes?
How do you get the patient out safely?
Great question. How do we get the patient out safely? So it all depends on.
They're gonna light
situation.
this
Right
car
now,
on fire,
we're doing
guys.
What we explained earlier, which is called extrication. We're removing the car away from the patient. Once we have enough room to get the patient out, we'll have an ambulance crew standing by. They'll bring the gurney up to the car, and we'll either use a backboard or just manpower, which means a bunch of people, and we will safely remove that person from the vehicle. All right. So as you guys can see, the rocker panel peeled away from the car as they're trying to do a dash push. So, and Captain Havlic's A-OK.
All right.
Big hand. Rough exterior, soft interior. All right. Any other questions? You got a question?
More than here, what's the name of that machine?
The Jaws? Yeah, we have, well, the common, so his question was, what do you call these machines? So the trade name or the common name would be called the Jaws of Life. Okay, there's a lot of manufacturers. This one is made by Hurst, H-U-R-S-T, and the new ones are battery operated. Yep. All right, we are now complete with our auto extrication demo. Why don't you guys give us about 15, 20 minutes to reset, and we'll be back with a gigantic car fire. One more question from the crowd.
All right, guys. They're going to be lighting this car on fire here in a minute.
No, we carry several charge batteries, and every.
Let me go over here where it's in the shade.
We usually have a handful of apparatus on scene, and we also have our backup.
So they're gonna be lighting his car on fire if you stick around.
But yeah, it was.
All right. Last question for team.
And once you get there, you're like, I got limited where you can go to LA.
Yeah, they're gonna torch that car, guys.
All right, everybody. We'll
Yeah,
see
we
you back
should
here
do-
in about 20, 30 minutes. Thank you.
I can't say your name out loud, dude. Get me in trouble. Hell no. That would really get me in trouble right now, wetback. But I'll come back in about 10 minutes and they're gonna torch that car up in flames.
Have a place to throw out. Oh, I forgot.
Alright guys, catch you later.
Add them on the cover while you're watching.
Yeah, I'll walk around
I
back.
have that one. You can go watch it.
I lost my wife. Excuse me.
Right? With some of the pieces in it.
Oops, excuse me.
Izzy, did you want a hot dog?
Ooh. I'll be right back, guys. Laters.